Bitcoin, guys, did get this nice bounce this morning, and it basically we started forming a little range here, and we got a chickens drinking water from this wick right here. Right, so we can see we came down in the range, took out the previous low with bullish divergences on the on the 12-minute time frame. Definitely we got the bullish divs on the 12-minute time frame. Absolutely as well got it on the 6-minute time frame. Is it going to be a big move? I don't know. I would not be surprised if we do come back up to at least the point of control here. I've already take profit 1 on it, and let's take a look where that golden pocket retracement is going to come. That would be a great area. Yeah, so I would say if you're also in a trade here, that this zone is a great place to take some profit if you haven't already taken some profit out. So this was something that I was potentially looking at this morning, where we had a nice little box of support down here. We had the beginning of a row of single prints. We had a 382 fib retracement. And we had the previous day value area high in that little box, and I was looking for the chickens to drink water coming below that previous wick into that area. And as soon as I was done my TA, well, boom, we get the entry right here, and this is the USDT pair, so I was actually able to catch that entry pretty nice. And yeah, and something else that's cool, guys, is the bot that I'm working on actually took this trade. So I was in the kitchen with my wife, holding my son. Shout out to Lil Fib Casper, Lil Fibonacci. You know, when this trade got hit, so basically the bot that me and a few other really good programmers are working on right now is where in the morning you can come to your chart, you can do your technical analysis, you can set the bot to take trades, and then you can walk away. All right, and so what happened here was this purple line was the trigger for the bot to take a trade if there was a bullish divergence on the 6-minute time frame. Right, so because we had a bullish divergence on the 6-minute time frame, when price came down to this area, this purple line right here, the bot entered into a trade. The bot has already taken profit 1 somewhere right up here. Actually, what I do for take profit 1 is at a 0.6% move from the entry. So let's see here, we entered somewhere down here. This is the USDT pair, so this is not too accurate, but take profit 1 came in about right up here. Okay, and then the stop loss is officially moved to the entry. So it's pretty much a guaranteed winning trade. Now, this bot I'm super excited about, guys, because if you are somebody who is a trader and you cannot be at the charts all day, or you don't want to miss out on a potential juicy scalp like this, guys, already up about 40%, high leverage scalp here. You don't have to be a slave to the computer screen all day. You could make your plan, and you could walk away, and you could come back to some juicy gains. Let's actually take a look at this fib and see, are we coming to any other kind of resistance here? Whoops. Yeah, look at that, guys. Flirting with the 382 level. All right, so let's turn off some of this analysis here. And yeah, that was pretty cool, guys. So we got the chickens drinking water first thing in the morning. That's the way to do it. So let's zoom out quite a bit and take a look at the overall Bitcoin markets and see what's happening and do some analysis. So if anybody's totally new to the channel, make sure to like the channel, make sure to subscribe. Here's what I see here just locally before we look at more of a higher time frame. It's clear that we are in an uptrend. The money flow has crossed over on the 4-hour time frame, which is bullish to me. Momentum and money flow continue to get higher, but we need to consolidate and or cool down a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have another kind of like bull flag curvy thing that we got over here. Let me actually turn off these purple lines as well. If we go to the daily time frame, we see that you know, money flow's coming up, guys. The momentum's coming up. The VWAP not looking so great, and because the VWAP is not looking so great, that means we still need to be wary of the fact. Well, 12 hours about to get a money flow crossed, guys. Things looking kind of good, but we do see some slightly bearish signs. Overall bullish, but there are some slightly bearish signs here. Mainly that we're topping out potentially even on the daily, and also slight bearish divergences on the VWAP here on market Cipher B higher time frames. But we cannot lose sight of the fact, even though it is a very nice pump and we all feel good about it, myself included, because of the fact that Well, I'm in two long positions, one from right down here and another one from literally right down here, because we did have in the VIP Discord. By the way, if anybody wants to get into the VIP Discord, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. This is where I post daily technical analysis updates, as well as potential trade setups, and a lot of people in here doing the same thing, really good traders. But when we did come down to that low at about 45.5K, we gave the potential setup for the chickens to drink water from here, which is what happened. So I got into a long from there. And then later on, after we consolidated, we had these areas of support that we were looking at after the first initial pump. And that was a few days ago now. First of all, we took a short from up here because we were looking to get resistance around the golden pocket. So we longed, then we shorted at the first retracement. So we took a short from right up here. And as we're coming down this way, we're marking out the levels of support where we could potentially take a trade from. We got a rejection right from that level. And one of the major areas of support was this box right here, where we had a 382, we had potential chickens drinking water from a mini range. And that's exactly where we got our bounce, right? We got our bounce right from that 382. Let's see here. Yeah, look at this. We got the bounce right from the 382, and the chickens did drink. So, you know, whenever we are trading in a mini range, like I always like to talk about how the way I like to look at the markets is I don't like to look for trends. I like to look for sideways markets. The reason I like to look for sideways markets is because when you're in a sideways market, it gives you very, very clear designated high and low places to buy and sell. And so I always try and, in a sideways market, buy low and sell high, which is literally exactly what we did here, right? We sold high, bought low. Sometimes when you buy low or sell high, it's going to be the big move, right? So instead of looking at, you know, when is Bitcoin going to break out of the resistance to enter your trade, what I like to do is I like to say, okay, when is Bitcoin coming to a low, a support, where I could look to get into a trade? Because if we're coming to a support, that means we're probably going to find support, and that would be a good place to enter long. Sometimes when you enter a trade, like the short that we took up here that we did in the VIP Discord as well, it's going to be that huge move, right? But other times it's not. So what this basically does is it allows you to get, like, you know, you'll have small wins here, break even here, small loss, small win, and then you'll have these massive wins, and that will give your account profitability over time. And so potentially we're forming another little mini range up here, which is why I was looking for a long down here at the low. Because if, you know, we just take this range, we can see that whenever price comes below this value area low, we should look for a long. It happened once, you could take the long. Happened twice right here, took the long, right? And if we break out of this, what people would consider a bull flag, if we break out of it now, I'm already in a long position from down here, which will take me to the next all-time, well, not all-time high, but the next high if we continue in the uptrend. And if this trade now gets stopped out at the entry, where my stop loss is currently down at the entry, then I still have a very small win, and I can wait for the next area of support to try and get into another long. So that's kind of my mentality in all this stuff here. And we do need to be aware of the fact that we can see that trading in since December 3rd, when we got this massive dump at about 23 o'clock, we've been just trading this sideways area. And what's very important to notice is we have not yet come above the high that we put in over here on December 7th, right? We have still not come above that juicy purple level right there, which means, guys, technically, we are still at resistance, right? There's still resistance above us. And if we start to hang out around here too long and we don't get the momentum we need to push up through here, we also have to be aware of the fact that we have the golden pocket Fibonacci retracement coming up right in this general area. So right now, we really need to come above this box if we want to see more movement to the upside. But until we come above this box, I am going to be looking at this area here as a potential consolidation bull flag-ish area, where I will look to take longs and shorts absolutely we'll be looking to take longs and shorts in this little box. Now, if we do reject from here, okay, let's say that we come up and we do reject from the high of the range and we come back down, then where are we looking? Where are we looking for support? Well, the areas that I'm mostly looking for support are going to be, as I love to do, fib levels. So I'm going to pull a fib from here to here, and we can see that the point of control is also a 786. And I'm going to actually delete this 382 level. That's coming in right about 48.7K. That would be a great area to look for support if we do reject off of the high. And then again, pull a fib from the very, very low wick to the high. And let's say that, you know, we come up a little bit higher. Then I would be absolutely looking down to the golden pocket right here, which is also the low of the range. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this right now. Until we come above this 53K area, then you know, I'm really not necessarily overly bullish, although I will say things do look bullish. I am bullish. I shouldn't say I'm not bullish, guys. I am bullish. Look at the weekly time frame here. If this thing gives us a green dot, we're going to get a big move here. And there's a lot of bullishness sentiment overall. It is that time of year, guys, where people FOMO into cryptocurrency. The holidays, I remember my grandpa, when he first got into Ethereum, it was around this time as well. One year, I forget which year. But yeah, families are hanging out, right? Spreading diseases and stuff, hanging out. And they're talking about Bitcoin, right? They're talking about Ethereum. So they are getting ready to buy. So we'll see what happens here, guys. And the only reason I say we could get another move down is because we could do something like this on the daily and simply just play a game of red dot, green dot, where we do, if we get a red dot on the daily, you know, even if we're gonna have more upward momentum and continue in an uptrend, right? We just have to be aware that red dots on the daily, even in an uptrend, do result in some kind of downward consolidation, right? So it's not a bear necessarily saying that I'm bearish. I'm just saying that if we come to resistance and we start to see momentum top out on the higher time frames, so we could probably expect some kind of something like that, right? So, and other than that, the levels that I've got are still intact. So, you know, if we do take a look at the year of 2021, it was a very sideways year for Bitcoin overall, because I mean, you know, for traders, it's so funny, right? Because we're on that roller coaster. It is a roller coaster. Some days after I'm done trading, I'm totally burnt out, guys. Totally burnt out. But I mean, literally, we could just draw a sideways channel where literally we have a clearly defined low and a clearly defined high, and we just go from the low to the high to the low to the high, and now we're kind of back down to that center point, guys. So if we do take a look at the volume that we traded for the whole year of Bitcoin, and we just pop that on, we can see quite interestingly that we are consolidating right around this high volume node right here in the middle. So this is kind of an area where we do need to make a very clear decision. If we lose this volume node and we lose this golden pocket, I do expect us to come down near the $39,000 area. And if we come above this $53,000 golden pocket, then it just makes sense that we come up to the next high volume node, which is coming in right around you know, 57-ish thousand. And if we come above 57-ish thousand, then it just makes sense that we come back up toward the all-time highs in the 60s. So this is how I am really approaching it from even on a very micro. You guys saw the trade I took based on a very, very small time frame, where I took a long just based on a range that we've been forming for the past few hours. And then I'm zooming out a little bit to take a look at this range that we've been forming for the last month or so. And then I zoomed out super far, looking at this range that we've been forming for the last year. And so this is how you're going to get your ideas for scalping, day trading, and swing trading based on the time frame that you're using. But overall, the principles are the same, where if we come to a level of key support or key resistance and market cipher B is giving us our confirmations, well, then we can enter into a trade. That's the way I like to do it.